Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Wonder Habit. In our last episode, we witnessed the battle of Book 1, the clash between Socrates and Thrasymachus, a duel between wisdom and ambition. Thrasymachus, the proud sophist, claimed that justice is the advantage of the stronger. Essentially, that might makes right. But Socrates dismantled his argument, leaving us with an unanswered question: what is justice itself? Not about its rewards, not about the appearances, but about the true nature of justice. Now, Book 2 opens at dawn, and we have two new voices that rise, Glaucon and Adeimantus, who are, by the way, Plato's own brothers. These two are not sophists like Thrasymachus. They are noble Athenians, intelligent, idealistic, and deeply frustrated with the moral decay of their city. Glaucon is bold and fiery, representing the spirited part of the soul, the drive for honor and greatness, a young soul. Adeimantus is a calmer and thoughtful one. He represents reason, the rational mind that weighs and balances, kind of like an adult type of figure. So Glaucon challenges Socrates directly. He asks him, do you wish to truly persuade us or merely seem to persuade us? And it's the essential question of philosophy, the difference between being and seeming, between truth and appearance. In order to sharpen the debate, Glaucon rebuilds Thrasymachus' argument into a more dangerous form. He divides all human goods into three kinds. For example, the things that we desire just for their own sake, the things that we desire for their results, and the things we desire for both reasons, sake and results. But then he demands Socrates to prove that justice belongs to the highest kind, that it is good in itself, not merely for its rewards. How can you prove justice is good, Socrates? To test Socrates, Glaucon tells the fable of Gyges. Gyges is a humble shepherd who discovers a ring that makes him invisible, kind of like Lord of the Rings, and he is freed from consequence. He's there, he's invisible. So he seduces the queen, he kills the king, he takes the throne. And so Glaucon asks after telling the story, if no one could see us, if we could act without punishment, would we still be just? Or is justice merely a contract among the weak, a mutual agreement born out of fear? Adeimantus steps in. Now, he's the adult in the room. He's quieter, but his reasoning cuts deep. He notes that society praises justice not for what it is, but for what it brings: honor, money, and divine favor. Even poets and priests promise heavenly rewards to the just man and terrors to the unjust. So Adeimantus says, what we call justice is just good PR. If a man could appear just while being corrupt, he'd gain all the benefits and none of the burden. And so the brothers unite in their challenge, and they want Socrates to prove that injustice is good for the soul itself, even if the just man suffers and the unjust man thrives. Going into Book 3, we have Socrates building the city in speech. So Socrates accepts the challenge, but instead of defining justice directly, he creates a model, which is a city in speech. He argues that justice in a city will mirror justice in the soul, only on a larger scale. He begins with the simplest of cities, the city of utmost necessity. Here, each person performs one function. Farmers farm, craftsmen build, traders trade. It's completely functional, it's peaceful and balanced, but it's too simple and too plain. So the ever-spirited Glaucon objects to this city of necessity, utmost necessity, and he asks, where's the culture, the art, the luxury? Due to this question, Socrates decides to expand the city. And now, with luxury comes with desire, and with desire comes conflict. To preserve the order, Socrates introduces what he calls the guardians, philosopher warriors who protect truth and justice. These philosopher warriors are like noble dogs, basically. They must be both gentle and fierce, and loving towards their own, but strong against enemies. In order to shape these philosopher warriors and their souls, Socrates prescribes a dual education. He thinks they should study music for the soul and gymnastics for the body. In Socrates' view, music trains emotion and character, and gymnastics strengthens will and discipline. Together, they come to create harmony, the true foundation of justice, according to Socrates. After this, building the city, we go into book number 4. And we're still talking about this city in speech. So the utmost necessity city has grown. And as the city grows, Plato confronts a political problem. That problem is, how do you maintain unity when people are unequal, both in talent and desire? It is here that Socrates proposes the myth of metal, that all citizens are born with different souls. The rulers are born with gold souls, the guardians have silver, and the producers have bronze and iron souls. It is a noble lie meant not to deceive maliciously but to preserve harmony. So those born of gold must never hoard wealth, and those of bronze must not crave power. Everybody stays in their own place, basically. And so at last, with this, the city achieves its balance, and Plato finally reveals the hidden meaning. The city, he says, is the soul writ large. The city's 3 classes correspond to the 3 parts within us. The reason, which is the ruling part, embodied by Socrates. The second is the spirit, which is the courageous part, embodied by Glaucon, the young soul. And the last one is desire, the appetitive part. And the third one is desire, the one that keeps appetites alive. It's kept in check by wisdom and order. And when it's not, all hell breaks loose. So, in books 2 through 4, Plato's Republic transforms from a debate about politics into a revelation about the human soul. Justice is not just obedience to law, nor the will of the strong. It is inner harmony. When reason rules, spirit defends, and desire obeys in proper measure. The just soul, like the just city, is like a symphony, each part performing its natural role in tune with the whole, or if you want to think about it as a machine, and every gear has its important role. And so, Plato teaches us to govern the world, one must first govern oneself. Justice begins not in courts or cities, but in the quiet architecture of the soul. That is just great, Plato. In the next episode, Book 5, the boundaries of this ideal city will be tested, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things that are actually currently a topic of a conversation as well, which will be a topic of conversation for those books. The role of women, the idea of communal life, the birth of the Philosopher King. So stay tuned. If you like the video, give me a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode.